What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a partnership with my boy CG. We're going to be doing a frame by frame breakdown slash reaction to the trailer of Shang Chi. It was our first look at this new movie coming out. And right out of the gate, I feel like it's going to do what Black Panther did to the black community. I feel like Shang-Chi is going to do the same deal for the Asian community. It's just a entirely different world that we haven't seen yet in terms of Asian culture portrayed in the MCU, Kung Fu style martial arts, and just like all that historic backstory that we're going to be seeing in this movie. So I'm super hyped for it. But for this video, I'm going to be doing a breakdown for some of the characters that we're going to be seeing in this movie, considering for a lot of us it's going to be the first time seeing them in live action. So I'll be doing a breakdown as well as talking a little bit further into what the 10 rings are and why they give the Mandarin so much power. So let's get right into it. So for those of you who do not know, Shang-Chi, his first appearance in Marvel Comics was Special Marvel Edition number 15, 1973. This was around the height of the popularity from Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon and the entire Eastern Asian culture of martial arts. Marvel got the chance to create a new character and try to basically ride that bandwagon of a character who's just a martial arts badass, and that is exactly what Shang-Chi is. He doesn't have any above level superhuman powers. He's not like super strong like Captain America. He's not super fast like Black Panther or any of those things, but he is widely known in the comics, and as we can see hopefully in the movie, he is widely known as the best Kung Fu fighter in the entire world. On top of Kung Fu, he also has a highly level expertise in other martial arts trainings, and he can basically go toe to toe with anybody, and he can even defeat people who are superior to him and can outpower him. As we can see in the trailer, even the Mandarin said, "I trained you to be able to defeat people who are out to kill you and much stronger than you," and shit like that. So I'm excited to see just how much of a martial arts badass he is. It'd be cool to see him go toe to toe with like Captain America or Black Panther, just to see like what their fighting styles are. But yeah, I'm excited to see him. A quick little change that they did to his character in this movie and in the MCU, they changed his character from being the son of Fu Manchu, which was somebody from the comics. We're never gonna see him due to like copyright and very derogatory racial reasons, but they changed his comic book father of Fu Manchu to be the Mandarin for the sake of this movie. And essentially it's the same thing. The Mandarin's a crime boss. He is the leader of the 10 Rings organization. I'm not too upset with this change. I think Marvel does that a lot, where they intertwine characters that they have out already based on certain things that happen in the comics, and they just change it up a bit, but it just still works for the overall storyline. So with that, let's move down to who the Mandarin is. So the Mandarin, for the case of this movie, as well as some comic book background story, he was introduced in Tales of Suspense number 50 in 1964. So chronologically, he was created before Shang-Chi in the comics. His powers: he is one of the world's greatest scientific minds and superb athletes slash combatant. We also see that he possesses the 10 rings, which in the case of the movie, they're going to be like wrist gauntlets, bracelets, instead of like actual rings that go in his hand. I think they're just doing that stylistically to keep it away from the similarity from the Infinity Gauntlet and having it around his hand. But these 10 rings allow him to have like essentially limitless power. However, he can't use all 10 rings at the same time, because then it would use up all of his like life energy and it could eventually kill him off. Similarly to like how when Thanos had all Infinity Stones and then he snapped, it did like residual damage to his arm. Same thing with the Hulk. So with that, I'm gonna do a breakdown of each and every ring and what their name is and what they do. So the first ring, it's called the Remaker. This allows him to basically alter matter at his own will. So he can essentially create weapons out of thin air, or somehow change objects that are on the table to be something that he wants it to be. You know, like let's say somebody hands him a water bottle, he can turn that into a weapon or whatever. The next ring is called the Influencer. This one allows him to take influence / mind control of only one person within a 10-foot radius. So he can have like mental telepathic abilities with this ring. The third ring is called Spin. This one allows him to have super speed. So in the trailer, when we see Shang-Chi standing and all the water is around him moving in slow motion, I'm assuming this is a scene where we see the spin ring. It allows the wearer to have a super speed sense of their surroundings, so everything around them looks slow motion, whereas if I were to see him, he would be going super fast. Number 4 is called Spectral. This one is essentially like a wind cannon, kind of like in the Justice League animated shows, when the Flash would shake his hands real quick and it would cause like a tornado. He uses it to fly, or almost like as a propulsion. All right, moving down to the 5th ring, we have Nightbringer. This allows the Mandarin or the wearer to essentially control darkness and light. So this room I'm in right now, if I had that bracelet on, I can make it completely pitch black and only the wearer can actually see in his surroundings. So I think this would be a good way for him to manipulate the environment that he's in whenever he's in battle. Moving down to number 6 is called Zero. This allows him to essentially open a portal from his wrists, like a Tony Stark repulsor, to outer space, and it causes this beam of complete coldness, and you could use it as like a energy repulsor. The ring number 7 is called the Liar. This is kind of similar to Mysterio's like illusionary tech, where everything looks legitimate, everything looks real, but it turns out it's all an illusion. He can kind of do that and create illusions within the mind, or maybe even in like the metaphysical world. So we'll see how he uses this one. Number 8 is Incandescence. This one is similar to the ring called Zero, the one that blasts the super cold. This one now just blasts like heat, like a fire propulsion system from his wrists, similarly to like Human Torch or some shit like that. Number 9 is called Lightning. This one is exactly what it is. It just allows the wearer to manipulate and direct lightning attacks, similar to Thor. And Diamonic, this is the irresistible urge that propels people into the unknown. It creates compulsive and obsessive traits along with loyalty. So I'm thinking this is what he uses to really expand his empire. Maybe he does like some kind of mind manipulation / brainwashing to all the people who are working for him, so that he can hold such a high rank and have all these minions do his work. So those are the 10 rings of the Mandarin. Like I said earlier, it's important to note he cannot use all these rings at once. If he does, it would essentially kill him off or really weaken him to the rest of the battle. So as overpowered as it sounds for him to have all of these traits and all of these abilities, I think he'll only be able to use 1 or 2 or 3 maybe at a time, and really give him the next level edge in some of these fight scenes that we're going to be seeing. But with that, I'm going to toss it over to you, Greg, so that you can take over for the frame by frame breakdown and your reaction to this trailer.
So guys, I gotta say the Shang-Chi trailer was absolutely fantastic. I definitely was getting Black Panther, Wakanda trailer vibes. Like it just got me extremely excited. But here we go, we're gonna go through, do kind of a frame by frame, a little bit normal speed breakdown, so we can kind of just see what's going on in the trailer before we get further trailers. And as we get closer to the movie, we're gonna get more information that comes out, but this is really gonna be our first look at what's going on with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So right off the bat, we kind of get those Wolverine when he's in Japan vibes, when Shang-Chi is right there at his little training area that he had. It's kind of interesting that we see him, what looks like might be California. He's living in a garage. He's working as a valet with his friend Katie, and he's partying, just living life. So this probably is the time when he's stepping away from his dad, when he gave him that 10 years to kind of live his life. And you really see that the death dealer, the dad, you see the training, all of those things that he's prepping him to maybe take over the family business, if you will. And obviously you see Wenwu saying, I trained you so the most dangerous people in the world couldn't kill you. We get a really cool shot of Death Dealer and Razor Fist. Maybe a little flashback here of when they do get captured, him and his friends, and you kind of see the Mandarin with his rings and his bands. Kind of a cool scene. The little slow-mo, which could be influenced from the bands as well. The fights look amazing. The choreography is probably the closest thing that we can get to like a crouching tiger, hidden dragon kind of thing. Here we're gonna see his sister. We see another Razor Fist, and then what looks like maybe the end fight between Shang Chi and the Mandarin. But I mean, just without having a super-powered new hero in here, we really get to see exactly what Marvel is going to be doing with hand-to-hand, probably since we've seen Killmonger versus T'Challa in Black Panther, or even kind of a Super Soldier Serum version of it. But a lot of this kind of showed up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier when it comes to hand-to-hand fighting. So this will be kind of the purest form of it all, but seeing it come out September 3rd, that's extremely exciting.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for today. Solid trailer we had. First drop at Shang-Chi. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this trailer, and what are you most excited to see about Shang-Chi coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Where do you think he's gonna fit in? Who do you want to see him team up with? They can just go a limitless possibilities with where they want to go with these characters, and I'm so excited to finally see him on the big screen and really get a sense of that like Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon vibe. But yeah, remember, as always, you can support the channel by leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing this with your friends so we can have a conversation about all this nerd talk. And if you want to personally chat with me, you can follow me at Mr. Jalapeno 13 on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys soon for the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.